Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carney?
Now, if you would stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, right over here. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting? Albert? Discussion?
Stryker? Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carney?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes. So I would like to thank all you for coming tonight. It's good to see all you here. I know these school board meetings are so exciting. Our crowds just keep getting bigger and bigger. And so I appreciate you being here. We're going to turn it over to the folks here at KCS to put on their program.
Good evening. I'm Katie Ketchum. I'm an early childhood intervention specialist here at Kenton Elementary. I wear many hats for Kenton City Schools, including being co-facilitator of the Adult Lighthouse team here at Kenton Elementary, along with Amy Mikesell, a third grade teacher. I would also like to apologize to the board in advance that I need to leave directly after this because I need to wear another hat tonight, my mom hat. My son is being recognized over at the winter sports banquet over at the high school, so please excuse me after I finish. 3 years ago, KCS started their journey to become a Leader in Me school. A component of being a Leader in Me school is to implement student leadership clubs. Tonight we are going to share with you a snapshot of our leadership clubs. But first let me give you a little background as to what is a leadership club and the system that we have in place here at KCS. Our shared leadership action team took the lead this year, setting the plan of attack. Every staff member at KCS was asked to create and facilitate a club based on their own personal interests. We wanted each teacher to share their genius and synergize with students from their grade level, but not necessarily the ones in their own homeroom. The end in mind is that when adults share their passions with students, students are then empowered to lead and share their personal genius with the school community. The result is higher investment and ownership from staff and students alike, with a more positive and fun school environment. We have leadership clubs about music, Star Wars, art, photography, yoga, friendship bracelets, and even an escape room. Please see the handout that Ms. Mikesell has with all 84 leadership clubs that we have here at KCS. We meet once a month on a Wednesday for an hour to work with our clubs to explore that topic. Tonight we have for you 4 leadership clubs, one from each of the pods here at KCS, to share some of the wonderful things that they have done this year. First, we have the genius of Mrs. Dyer's 6th grade production leadership club.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to KCS, all your administration, and of course all these ladies that are putting these together, these types of things together for our school, because it has been an amazing experience. The students that I work with, I have 12 kids, and I want to say I work with them, but truly they are leaders. They know what to do, how to do it, and they are going to run this presentation. They have not practiced, and I believe in them, and I know that they can definitely do a good job. I will do a side note. We did have a day of innovation here at Kenton Elementary School. We had a few schools attend, and a few of these kids up here today, they presented on what we do in Production Club, what we do in STEM class, and I was just extremely impressed, and I'm telling you some of the questions that both Inventionland and another group, Envisions Plus, Envision Plus, they had some hard questions, and these guys did an awesome job representing Kenton Elementary School. So I'm going to turn it over to JJ first. If you notice this furniture over here, we have a production club, which we actually started with a green screen, but they're going to kind of explain how that green screen turned into set design, that turned into this.
I'm going to sit down.
So, my name is JJ, and I am the Group 1 leader for the production club. And so our prototype that we did was the rocking chair all the way on the top up there.
You can have
And,
someone get it. Megan, go. Someone can go get it, or you can walk over there.
Our prototype for the day. And it started with a sketch, and then it turned into this right here. A cardboard thing. And then our, this is our final design. And this is sturdy enough for me to actually sit on it. Right now, we are working on making stoppers for it so that we'll actually stop it so you can sit on it and record if you want. So yeah.
Good job. Jesse. Josie, did you want to grab the microphone, honey, and go next?
I didn't really plan anything to say, but we started in like October, like the end of the month of October. And we worked together to get that green screen up. It took a while, but we got it. We have a certain design plan. It's simple to an engineer's. First, we define what idea take, we make a prototype, we build it, and we analyze. We have 3 teams that consist of 4 usually. We have team 1, team 2, and team 3. We use these cardboard pieces that were donated from Menards in Findlay, Ohio. I put the wrong picture in.
That's okay.
And it was a tube. It's cardboard tubes. It's these things right here. We have different pictures from Team 1. This was our last meeting. We were all hurrying up because we knew we had this meeting today and we need to get this done. I'll have someone from this group talk about it.
Okay. So, my group was, I was doing this hammock thing, which last time I saw it was flat like it is up there. And the same how that started is we did a sketch. Half of it's right here, and the other half's right here. And then we used this thing, we based this thing off of what this was. And yeah, so I have not sat on it like this yet, and I don't know who's going to.
Let's not do it yet.
But what we did was, we had all had a string. We didn't like each of us had worked like one person on each like tube thing, and we had it tied up at the end. And then one of the ideas someone brought up was, since it was like black, and if we were to try to lift it, this would tip. Someone, I don't remember who, but they said someone should stand inside it and hold it up. But I didn't really agree with that. Inside there's the other end of this thing. So, but there were lots of ideas put into this. And while we were making this, we went through like 5 rolls of duct tape because we were like taping one thing there, and then someone would walk up and be like, no, we need to replace that tape with something else. So we had a bunch of different ideas for this. At the start, we had just the pillars holding up the other things, but that wouldn't stay standing up, so we had to add the bottom parts, but then it was like lean and tip over. So we had to add things to hold up the bottom pieces so that it would stand up straight. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so group 3, who's going to talk? Okay, Jason. Or Ben.
Okay, so for group 3, we just built a simple chair. It's over here. We built this multiple different times, and it's still pretty terrible. At one point, Ms. Dyer told us that it had to be a cardboard chair, not a duct tape chair. We had so much duct tape. That was actually not the original design. We rebuilt it about 5 times, and it turned into that after that we built it. And we went through all the design processes, and when that was made, like it's strong enough to hold a person, but that is not official. We tested it.
Normally what I would say about this chair, let me just say this is not easy to build, just like any other normal chair. Like props to people that build stuff, because basically this is not as easy as you think, because that prototype, one had a few flaws, then after another, and after another, till we fixed it to make it look like this, because we had better materials and we had better usage. And I'm also like very proud of these people that helped me build it, help cooperate, and help with, like other people's ideas.
Okay, so that's our production club. Now, a side note, you guys can sit down if you're production club. We also had a group that is just really quickly going to show you a robot that they created, and who's going to talk. Let's have Ruby come up, and JJ and Ben. All you guys come up. Okay, just kind of drag it around and tell them what we did.
So in STEM class, us 5 have been like going aside and we've been building our robot. And I'll be honest, I really didn't think I'd be interested in building a robot, but I decided to try it. And me and Kai don't really know what to do, how to build a robot, or programming especially. And they helped us, and now I'm interested in it. I think Kai likes doing it too. And we had a robot that these 3 decided to rebuild. And they said they were just going to fix it. They ended up tearing it up and redoing it. And we had multiple designs, and it's taken a long time for us to program and fix it all.
So as Ruby said, we probably had like 3 to 5 different designs for this robot because it kept breaking for multiple different reasons. And one of the reasons was we had it on a table because we had an idea with it, and Ben decided to break off the table, and it broke because of that. And yeah. So we needed Robo-Mo.
Okay.
She's pretty cool, actually. We tried programming it, we have a flaw for it, but we didn't have the, we had the wrong programming stuff. But for benefit, we have to keep talking.
Okay, does anyone else have anything else they want to say about the robot?
The designing process, it was definitely hard. We went through a lot of designs. At one time, the robot was at least twice as long as it was now. We had like 8 sets of tires on it. It was very like, yeah. timing mechanism, it wouldn't work when it was on. So we had to take all of those off, and it didn't even need to be stable. We had the acid wall on the front so we wouldn't get backwards while it was driving. And what really started us building this robot was at the beginning of the year, our first gym class, there's this robot that was broken at back counter of Ms. Dyer's room. She told us if anybody wanted to try to rebuild it, then we could try. So it started out with me and Finn. We asked Ms. Dyer if we can try to rebuild it. But we tried to add a slingshot on top, and while then his bandage joined in, and that came up with us, all of us. And so when Ben was trying to take the slingshot off to add something else in, the whole robot fell apart for whatever reason. And so that's when we came up with our own design for it, because we were just fixing it at first.
They are very modest. One thing they didn't mention is that they did not have any directions or anything to put this robot together. Years ago, I had a robotics club, and my 5th and 6th graders had directions, and it was very difficult for them to put this together. This group used their different times, like if they had a little extra time or they gave up some recesses, they used 5 to 10 minutes at the end of STEM class. And what they came up with was awesome. And then they came to me just last week or a couple weeks ago and said, Mrs. Dyer, I don't think you understand, we can't program this robot. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you need? So 3 help desks later, they're almost there ready to program, and they're the ones telling me what they need. So you guys, I'm so proud of this group. There's lots of great things to come. Leader in Me has been an amazing thing for our school system, and it's really gotten kids to think outside the box. So thank you so much.
Next we have Miss England with her 4th grade nature club.
6th graders.
Hey everybody, we're the nature club, and I'm just going to have the kids introduce each other. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Danny, Natalie, Diana, Cynthia, Hayden.
So some of the cool things that we've got to do this year is we've been able to dissect owl pellets, we've planted lima bean plants, we went on a nature walk, and we've got some other fun things to better plan. So I'm going to have the kids, we have some kids that weren't able to come today, and so some of the other kids are going to share their slides. And they wanted to share about dissecting owl pellets, so pretty much this is what all we're talking about.
My experience with owl pellets. What I liked about dissecting owl pellets, finding the bones of other animals, what we did was we dissected them to learn about the owls and what they eat. I opened up owl pellets. I found another bird in my owl pellets. I found 2 rats in a owl pellet. What I liked about owl pellets, what I liked about dissecting owl pellets was that we got to identify what bones belong to what animal. I found tree bones and bird bones. I also found 2 skulls, a bird skull and a tree skull. By finding these bones, we were able to identify the bones and see what the owl ate. I really enjoyed dissecting owl pellets. What we did, we used toothpicks to dig the bones out. I found a chute in mine. What I liked about it, I liked discovering bones of animals and seeing what animals they were. What we did, we dissected owl pellets.
what I liked about it, we found bones. What I found, 2 skulls, about 10 bones and feathers. Lots of feathers. What we did was took toothpicks and broke that pellet in half. Then we looked and had to find bones and parts of the skeletons for the animals so we could find out what type of animals we could check off the type of animals we found. I like elephants. I like elephants because I like bones. I found 1 skull and 4 leg bones. I also found teeth from a shoe. They were sharp and yellow teeth. Owl pellets. What I like about dissecting owl pellets is how we got to keep the bones of any kind of animal that the owl eats. I found 1/2 each skull. Anyway, I loved it because we got bones and I found skulls. Dissecting owl pellets. Dissecting owl pellets was fun because we got to find different bones. You can also figure out what they eat. You can also make out what they eat. Dissecting owl pellets was fun because I got to find different animal bones. You also get to figure out what animals they ate.
So what's next? We wanted to share with you guys some of the things that we're actually having come up. We're going to be doing nature art, so we're actually going to be making bird feeders out of bird seed. We're going to be planting flowers, and then we're actually going to do another nature walk. We did that earlier in the year. About the owl pellets, what was really cool is Ohio Wildlife actually donated the owl pellets to us, and they were already sterilized and cleaned. And that was something that I really enjoyed when I was in school. So I'm like, hey, why not? Let's do it. And all the kids were like, and then they decided they loved it after we did it. So I was glad that they got to do that. And all the pictures that were actually of the bones and everything were actually bones that the kids actually discovered in the owl pellets. It was really cool. There was some that did have multiple skulls in them, and the kids really enjoyed what they did. So I'm really proud of the kids. They've been doing awesome. They're having lots of fun, and I can't wait to see what we have next. Thank you.
Next we have Miss Smith, Mrs. Smith with her cheerleading club from 1st grade.
These cheerleaders have been working very hard during clubs. They're excited to share what they've been working on today with you guys. So when this whole club thing came about last year, I instantly knew without a doubt that I needed to do a cheerleading club. Pretty simple. But I definitely feel like I'm the lucky one. It makes me feel like I'm reliving my high school days. I love it. And yeah, I was going to say if you guys want to turn around and enjoy the show. Go ahead and pick them up. All right, Miss Sydney, start us off.
Don't be a bully. Go leaders.
Awesome job. Megaphones. You guys look so good. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
When I say wildcat, you say leaders. Wildcat. Leaders. Wildcat. Leaders. When I say wildcat, you say leaders. Wildcat. Leaders. Wildcat. Leaders. When I say wildcat, you
Our last presentation is from APOD, Mrs. Kemmery's Kindergarten Club. And my mind just went blank. Acts of kindness? Okay.
Good evening, I'm Mrs. Kemery. I'm one of the kindergarten teachers, and I'm lucky enough to have 4 kindergartners here with me this evening, and none of them are actually in my homeroom, so they're a little nervous. We didn't get to practice a whole lot, but I'm very proud of them for coming up and standing up here in front of all these grown-ups. Just a quick thought. The reason that I wanted to do the Acts of Kindness Club is because I think children are naturally just inherently kind, and somewhere along the way, they sometimes get some bad influences from adults in the media and other things, and I just really am proud of them. They are the sweetest, just most warm-hearted group of kids that I've had the privilege to know, and it is no doubt in my mind that they will be leaders who are both strong and kind. So here we are. Do you want to introduce us, London? This is London.
We are the Kindness Club, and we find ways to be kind and make people happy.
So one thing we talk about during our club time is the way our words and actions affect others. So Aiden's going to do a little example for you. So Aiden has a tube of toothpaste here, and he's going to squeeze it out on the plate. And when we did this, we talked about our words. And London, do you want to explain how this toothpaste is like our words?
So once we squirt the toothpaste out and then we try to put it back in, it can't come back in like our words.
Yeah, so once we speak our words and they're put out there, we talked about how they're just like this toothpaste. We can't get it back in the tube, can we? We can apologize and we can say we're sorry, but once they're out there, we can't take them back.
And it makes people feel sad.
Yeah, and it makes people feel sad. So instead we talk about ways that we can use kind words and show kindness and generosity towards others. We have a few examples of some of the projects we've done. So Jaden has this group loves to paint and color. They always want to paint and color. So they did some beautiful watercolors. And then we just cut out sayings, just like you are smart, you are kind, you are important, and we're hanging those up around the school. We made some sun catchers, which Kaylee has here. We did that during one of our times to give those away. We hid bookmarks in the library with positive messages for our fellow classmates to find. Oh, we made reindeer racking, which a rack is a random act of kindness. So at Christmas time, we went around the building. Do you remember what we did with those, London? Do you remember what we put in the bags?
We put candy and treats and cards for the helpers.
Yeah, for our support staff, just a way of saying thank you to them. We've made cards and given them to friends. So just a way to send some positive messages out there. And then each month we have a town hall meeting where the student Lighthouse team gets up and they announce birthdays, and then we choose one of our friend volunteers and they give a challenge to the rest of kindergarten. So we've done things like where we challenge them to hold the door open for someone, or at Christmas time we challenge them to sing a Christmas carol to make somebody happy. So just little fun things like that. Do you guys want to say your names in the microphone? So these are 4 of our members. Say your name.
Aiden, Kaylee, Jaden, London.
And thank you.
Thank you so much to all of our leaders. You guys did a great job. Can we have a big round of applause for all of our student leaders? My name is Amy Lexa. I'm the other part facilitator with Katie Ketchum for the Lighthouse team. And if you have questions about leadership clubs, I'd be happy to answer those at this time.
All right, we certainly, as a school board, really appreciate the students coming out tonight and sharing with us. Throughout the school year, we have a lot of different groups of students from your group going up to high school that come and share with us and some of the many things they're doing. And so we really appreciate getting that feedback and getting to share that. And so we really appreciate the students coming out tonight, and also the parents for bringing them, and also the staff here this evening that are doing up their evening as well to be with us. So thank you all very much. Does anybody have any questions, or any of the school board have any questions for anyone, or any comments? So we'll continue with our meeting, but if you folks would like to head home, that's fine. You don't have to stay for the business portion of the meeting, so feel free to head to the door. So, thank you very much.
If you all would like to see our leadership clubs in action, our next time is April 3rd on a Wednesday in the morning at 8:10. So you're more than welcome to come check it out for yourself if you'd like.
What? You take it.
We're on agenda item number 6.
I don't know where you're going to be, but like spreadsheet.
Second.
Door. Maybe partner in this. I think I'm going to try and come back.
Comments or questions about the treasurer's report? Not loud vote.
Mr. Watkins? Yes. Mr. Albert? Mr. Carney? Mr. Rudd?
We have the old business, so we'll move on to new business. Item 10 is personnel items. Other ones.
I got a lot to say.
We're right by that. Everybody else is leaving. I get ready to use it. I apologize. All right.
So I do have a couple things to talk about tonight. The first one is about the calendar vote. So agenda item 11C will be to vote on this year's calendar, this upcoming year, as well as next year's calendar. And you received all of the information, but the staff voted, and the top choices for the 19-20 school year calendar was calendar A by 57.9%, and for the 2020-2021 school calendar was calendar A by 55.6%. So I would recommend to the board that we support the staff to vote calendar A for both the 19-20 and the 21 school. You'll see that as written as 11C. If we want to change it, we can do that. The next thing I want to talk about is pretty important, and it's about our transportation and how we do our busing here at Kansas City Schools. So since we opened this building, we've been working to improve our busing system to ensure that we can offer the best service and safety to all of our families that ride the bus. And if you remember, when we first opened this building, we actually went from busing 465 students to busing almost 1,200 students in a matter of 3 months. And this was a result of the location of the elementary school, so the walking distance was just too much for kids. So we ended up doing a lot of city routes to pick up kids. So first thing that happened was that we knew our buses were too crowded. So we added more bus stops and more buses, and we also added what we call B route, which meant students at KS got out at a different time. So there was an A route and a B route. And there's about 20 minutes or so in between the routes. So that meant a lot of confusion. It also meant lots of instructional time, just because not all the classes are getting out at the same time. And we did that, and we've done that, and we still do that. And we have shrunk that time, but the kids still aren't starting and stopping at the same time. We also struggled then, after we had done that, with some discipline, because we had so many students ride a bus that had never ridden a bus before. We also had PK-12 students riding the same bus, so we added educational assistance to the bus. You'll probably remember we started adding bus aids, both AM and PM, on all of our city routes. So we have kept the same policies for drop-off and pickup, which was meeting every parent's need, but with the number of riders increasing by 3 times, we had to dedicate a secretary at KES to just handle what we call blue notes at the end of the day, and that's our change of ride form. It means I'm going to take a different bus home, or I'm going to go home with my parents tonight. And we had to dedicate a person to bus write-ups. We just handled the intake of all the bus write-ups, and we get them to the right principal and get the situation resolved. It also increased our dismissal time from about 5 to 10 minutes to about 10 to 15. And any time that you're increasing those kind of time frames, you're losing instructional time. So just a couple other things. We also had 2 bus routes that we are still subbing because we simply don't have drivers. We changed how we offered to our public to help train people to become drivers, but we just can't seem to get people to follow through from beginning to end, which means that our 2 maintenance people, our transportation mechanics, B and Brian, have been driving buses almost daily just to keep up. And this year we just kind of said we need help. So in the fall we decided to do a study on our entire transportation system that included bus routes, times and policies, because we wanted to ensure that we were offering the safest and highest quality bus ride that we could possibly offer to our families. So our goals were to analyze the current routing to assess ridership and routing times, that would be your riding time. Eliminate extended time of student supervision before and after school. So basically each school, each grade level would have one start time, one end time, all the students come at the same time, they all leave at the same time. We wanted to increase instructional time, so decrease that downtime, provide routing options that increase efficiency and bus safety, and assess the cost for what routing options actually cost our district. And so some of you received it at meetings and committee meetings, others of you have it in your packet, that actual study. 4 solutions were proposed, and based on the study, it was recommended that we move to a 2-tier busing system, which means right now that grades 5 through 12 would start and stop school together. Now think about that. At this school, that's 5th and 6th grade pod, plus our middle school and high school. And they're looking at start times probably around 7:45, 7:55, and being released between 2:40 and 2:50. And then our pre-K4 students would start school at 9 o'clock, and they would end at approximately 3:45. Now the reason I'm still using approximate times and I'm not giving you exact time frames is we have to run all this with the drivers, we have to run all the routes, we have to make sure that the time is correct, and we have to make sure that this is the study, this is the proposed plan that we want to do. So with this recommendation, we also have to change transportation policies. The transportation policy has been reviewed in policy committee, and we're looking at doing 1 pickup and 1 drop-off. Now that seems pretty simple to us sitting here at the table, but the state only requires us to pick you up at your house and drop you off at your house. We don't have to do babysitters, we don't have to do grandparents, we don't have to do any of those things. But we know that's important to our family. Unfortunately, to make the routes work and to make sure that everything is as safe as it possibly can be, we're asking parents with the policy change to actually sign up to where you want your kids picked up every day and where you want them dropped off every day. And I know that to some people who have different school districts, that sounds like, well, that's what we already do. Penton doesn't do that. When we bused 465 kids, it was really easy to be accountable to 465 families and to know where the kids were going and we're in smaller buildings. It's just not possible the way that we're doing it right now. So the two-tiered system, we would need to, would also decrease the walking distance for students in grades 7-12. So right now, if you live 1.5 miles outside the middle school or high school, you have to walk. We can probably decrease that zone down to a mile and pick up about 50 to 60 more riders, which would be great for families, especially in the winter. Our policy has kind of been, if we have the room on the bus and we see a student walking, we would get them if we could, if weather was bad. But it just hasn't been the case because our city buses are so full. The two-tier system would increase instructional time for the elementary students, especially in 5-12. They'll actually gain 5 to 10 minutes of instruction. And it also just helps that all students are starting and ending at the same time of day. And the wait times in the morning, like kids getting dropped off over a 20-minute window, would be decreased. So they would have time for breakfast, but some kids wouldn't have 20 minutes for breakfast while others might have 5. So it's a more structured plan, which would be good. So we know that this is a huge change. It would impact many of our families, and we've done our best to think through what those problems would be, and we're trying to address all of those problems. But we want to have a community meeting to discuss all of these concerns. And that meeting's been scheduled right here at KES on Tuesday, April 2nd at 6 o'clock. And so we'd like our families to come and sit down and talk with us and make sure that we've looked at everything. There is another two-tier proposal that was offered. It doesn't balance our buses as well, and it doesn't do the times as well. They're not as coordinated. So there's some other things we can look at, but we'd like to have those conversations on that night. So once we do all this, then my hope is that in April or May, we would ask the board to pass a new transportation policy with regard to pick up and drop off. We would talk about our walking zone and then also accept a two-tier system. And if that's what we finalize. There's the one tier, which is what we're currently doing with some tweaks. There's two two-tier systems, and then there's a three-tier. Three-tier scares me. I don't even know if we'll put it out there. It's just not feasible for what we want to accomplish. But I do want to put it out there. I do want to encourage people to come and to talk with us and to make sure that we're not forgetting anything and that the details have been thought out. One thing I will mention is that with having our 5-6, when I think about 5-6, but 5-12 students getting on the bus so early in the morning, there may be a gap between parents going to work and those pre-K 4 students getting onto the bus. So here's an opportunity for community. A lot of community will run a latchkey program of some sort. Sometimes it's WY, sometimes it's we have like Laugh and Learn, things like that, to do those kinds of programs. But we'd be willing to open our school or to allow that, but we can't run it as schools. So if there's an interest for that kind of program, it might be something we see on April 2nd. We'll help make that happen to help our families and our students. But I did at least want to put all the information out there so we can start the discussions. Any questions about my free-page monologue on information? And I just have 2 more things real quick. Remember, Friday, March 22nd is a teacher PD day, so there's no school for students. There's school for teachers, all that good stuff. And excited to tell you that the Alumni Hall of Fame inductees have been chosen. They'll be notified this week, and then the official announcement will be made in April. I think we have some good, strong candidates. So that's all I have, Mr. Watkins. There's no staffing reduction in any of the, well, actually the 3-tier, we could have a staffing reduction. So on the 2-tier system that we're looking at, we're subbing 2 spots. We don't need those 2 spots. So no one is losing anything. And actually the people that are subbing, we do have one person that's subbing that route. We have a plan for that person. So there's no loss of jobs, no it's just an efficiency issue. And for me, safety, because when we don't have drivers, that puts a lot of stress on us trying to get the kids here safely and on time. And we've been in situations that we've had to combine buses. Their families have had to wait on kids till 4 or 5 o'clock because we've had to have drivers run 2 routes. So hopefully that would help across the board. It also helps with some of the maintenance and equipment. So the purchasing cycle for buses would be reduced because we wouldn't have as many buses out. So it would be reduced by 2. And that's, please understand, this is a draft that someone came in, OSBA actually came in and did for us. You have to vet it and make sure it works. And so on the 22nd, I meet with the drivers, and we're going to start vetting this. And there could be things that need to be changed and adjust. And that's why I don't really want to get into a specific time of day or start and stop times, because we're not sure what's going to work best for Kenton City Schools. It's just right now, based on everything they drew for us, and they drew all of our routes. But sometimes you don't know if you can turn there. There's a turnaround there, and Brian does all those things. So we need to talk with our drivers and go through. And then we need to talk with the community and say, what did we miss? Tell us what we're missing. Tell us how we can help and get all those pieces in place before I ask you to vote.
Question? Next committee reports, finance committee.
We actually did meet on March 11th. We had just a short meeting. A couple of things that were talked about and discussed was we're in the process of getting utility quotes for electric and gas. Kind of look at the bills to see. We try to get the best price we can, obviously, for those bills. And we took a look at the current bids that they gave us. It did look like our best scenario was to go with a 3-month plan with each one of those. That was actually going to basically really keep our rates about what they are now, if I remember correctly. So kind of avoiding the end of it. Or it's 36 months, sorry. 36. What did I say? 3 months, not 36 months, sorry. Sorry about that. And then the other thing, we're still waiting on some information. We're still contemplating putting a diesel tank at the bus garage to kind of save some efficiency, safety, obviously for the drivers as well. So we're working through that process and then waiting for some quotes to come back to that.
Facilities, met on 315, have several summer projects coming up. 3 of those we're voting on tonight. Kind of by building middle school brickwork. We did some of that in the past, doing more this year. Quality masonry. We got 3 different areas which we'd like to work on. Middle school roof replacement over the top floor where the actual classrooms are at, by 5C roofing, and then the middle school garage as well. At Oak Leaf, gutter replacement with 5C roofing, that's again on the agenda tonight. Bus garage, there's the area over top where the buses actually park. That's a patch and refasten situation there that needs to be addressed. Up at the old athletic building, there's some lighting upgrades that need to be done. We'll get an ADP rebate as well. Also, there's going to be a treatment for termites around the perimeter of the gym floor. We're going to start the soccer press box work hopefully soon. There's several small paving projects, 6 of them that need to be addressed. Discuss drainage for the soccer field, and also we'll be working on a preparation for a quote for heating system costs for middle school, high school, and Oak Leaf for future reference.
We can a little. So we had an OFCC meeting with Garmin Miller as well. And the news is grim, but it's okay because we're still working for it. Basically, the bottom line is OFCC is out of money. So they're not able to fund all the requests that are coming in for new buildings. And so we're kind of in a standstill until we come up with a queue and they have money and they're able to fund us. So when we originally talked about this, probably now almost 2 years ago, when we put in our initial intent, we thought it would come in 2019 or 2020, and we would work towards that. They now have given us a 6 to 10 year projection. And so they're saying it would be 6 to 10 years before OFCC could guarantee their part of a project. And until we have that guarantee, we can't move forward with the levy or asking for a bond issue to build a facility. Now, that's just a projection. And originally we were thinking about 4 years before the whole thing would take place. So I'm still working with OFCC. We have very good people that work with OFCC. So we're hoping that, and the state model of funding can change, the department can get more monies as people feel the need that these buildings need to happen. So there's a lot that can change. So we're just right now staying on course. Over the next year, we'll look at instructional design for the middle school, high school, what that would look like, and then we'll start putting dollars and cents to what a building would cost. We have to do some master planning, which means they come in and assess all the buildings and make sure that they can be renovated and that they would have to be replaced, which I'm pretty confident with all of our buildings would happen. On a positive note, I have to give the board kudos in the sense that they did plan for this in case this would happen, that we have to keep the middle school and high school longer. So we have intentionally put money into our capital outlay funds when we had it available from the projects that we've been doing so that we can be prepared in case we have to replace boilers at Kenton High School and even the elementary. So we had some monies to do this kind of brickwork. But now when we're making decisions about repairs, we're looking at a 10-year repair. So is it worth putting the money? Do we need to put the money in looking 10 years down the road that we would be going this way? Before it was 4 to 6 years. So hopefully we're wrong, we're wrong. So hopefully we'll be able to get funded earlier, but it's just the reality of what it is. On a positive note, it gives us some more time to pay this building off, which is positive. It gives us more time to plan and to be ready to go when they call our number and say, hey, we can fund you this year. We're going to be ready. But it could be as many as 10 years next year.
Just to reiterate, though, it kind of changes our long-term building maintenance thought somewhat. Some things you think, well, it's a big project, possibility of replacing the building. Shorter, maybe put it off now that we got to recalculate some of those things. So it's a bit of an adjustment in how we're assessing two older buildings. Russ Blue, drum roll, Russ Blue has returned with a report from the Career Center.
Mr. President, board members, Mr. Stanzarski, it's been a while since I've been here, so I thought I would come in and give you a little update because I have some invitations for you that I'll cover in our along my presentation. I do want to thank Ms. Stryker for keeping me updated on everything at the regular meetings, and I hope her input along with the stuff I send you every month from our reports down there keeps you up to date. But as of now, we're very, very busy working on new guiding principles for our district's educational environment. And the design team, which is staff, students, and administration, they're working with the architects to finalize the plans for the new construction, which will be going on in the near future. And we're gearing up to that, to the construction, remodeling, and supporting all the programs that were identified during the levy campaign. As I told you before, we had to kind of shut down the satellite programs for a while because we ran out of instructors and financing to add any more to it. With the levy being passed, we're able to move forward with that and start adding those programs. Applications to our main campus are up this year over the past 2 years, and there are more coming in weekly. We recently hired a student resource officer. His name is Paul Finfrock. He's the deputy sheriff in Logan County, and he's actively working with the staff and the students and has been very well received by all at OHP. It's always interesting when we get our reports for our monthly agendas, hearing from our satellite instructors, and there are a lot of exciting things going on with our Kenton OHP FFA that instructor Emily Burns shares with us every month. Aaron McDougall with the advanced manufacturing class is very excited with how the program and the equipment are assisting our students in their future goals. Deb Purcell continues to send students out into the world with excellent credentials at her allied health and nursing program. Our other instructors, Ryan Collins with IT, Spice ISS, Justin Rigsby with IT, and Jared Vance pre-engineering, continue to instruct our students with much success. So we appreciate that. The satellite programs are continuing to be successful, and there are current conversations going on about adding another new program in Kenton in 2020. Superintendent Penzarski will be sharing that with you when all things are more solid. Now the invitations. Wednesday night, we're having a student and staff of the month recognition presentations. In the past, we did that at every meeting. Now we just announce them at every meeting, and then once a year we have a presentation where we bring all the students and all the staff in and do a recognition. And I'm proud to say that Tom Carey from Kenton, he's our graphic arts and printing instructor. He was honored in February, and he'll be there Wednesday night for his presentation. And then April 24th, this is the biggie, is the Ohio High Point District Showcase for all boards. We used to do that in February, but every year we would schedule that, and that day it would snow like crazy. Mrs. Penzarski can attest to that. We've been on the road several times and didn't know if we was going to get home. So we changed it to April, so you're all invited to that, and invitations will be sent out to your board along with all the other boards for that night. And as I reminded you at our last meeting I attended here, this is my last year on the High Point board due to years restrictions, and the process for my replacement will need to be starting sooner than later. I just want to thank you, and just a few short weeks, we'll be wrapping up another great year and holding convocation on May 22nd. You're all invited to come and share that with us. So, thank you. December 31st this year. Yeah.
We have to take action together, and the type of position requires us to, it can be someone that's not on the board, so we do advertisement and all that. There's a whole process. So college will start about August, school will start.
Yeah, they limit us to 6-year terms now, and you can go off and come back on, but since I'm in my 16th year, they're picking me off. So.
All right, even as a policy.
Okay, we actually met on March 15th. A few things that we discussed. You'll see actually in section 11, maybe this one we're doing today, we include YOLA updates that are required to keep our policies up to date. So that actually we want to go a little later. We also talked about probably people we're going to take a look at policy, that. Also, the school bus transportation side of it, we discussed that as well. And then we also talked about the category 2. We've actually going to do today on 11F approval for things that are actually asking for category 2 as far as
It's a board approved list. So there are 4 different pricing depending on your category when you fill out a facility request form. What's changed now from in the past is that we actually, it said that they were board recognized, we never recognized them. So what they do now is they fill out a form, policy reviews the form. We've been sticklers. They don't have all the signatures, they don't have all the pieces, it's sent back. And so once the application is complete, it's reviewed, and then now we'll have an actual board. And it should have been done. We just had those ones that we knew.
We've looked at it, so
I think guys get other things, extra career for Sometimes it works out.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, so with no business, we move on to new business, item 10, personnel items. Motion.
Rush.
Second. Calvin. Right, things there. Anybody have any questions, comments, discussion on any of those? That's the straightforward stuff. If not, we'll have a vote.
Mr. Carney?
Yes.
Mr. Rush? Yes. Ms. Stryker? Yes. Mr. Watkins? Yes. Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Move on to item 11. Resolution. Motion. Albert. Second. Okay, this is, there's a little more to it. It has these policies we mentioned, so it has the groups that approve evaluation. It also has the calendar all there.
You don't get to make your own, so you
What, does anybody, we can separate out, if you have a contention with any of these, we can separate them out and vote of them independently if you like.
or another, you choose the ammunition.
So, any discussion on any item in 11?
I think the most important thing for me is I really like that there is almost 60% on the calendar and for next year, almost 56%. So,
outside school comments that I had were the opposite. Comments that were thought that that started to be resolved early in the summer. Concern that the students want to go to the other people not the most part. And that was as well. The middle thought is going to be frustrating.
Some of the biggest things to consider about starting earlier, one, whether or not we want to talk about it when testing occurs. And so starting earlier helps us get better prepared for those tests. Unfortunately, tests don't happen in May. So that's actually the more time we can get in, the better we're prepared. Or something on all that calendar. But that's one reason. The other reason to consider is retirements. And I know this sounds kind of crazy, but retirees really have to retire by the end of May. Some years we've been hit really hard with a bunch of retirements. When we have to go to school past that May into June, we either are looking at additional costs. Our retirees, we usually do subs for those positions for that time. Again, it feels kind of like, in some cases, that is what it's on by the time you have the full subs in, cover. So that's been a piece that we've looked at. And the truth is that it is hot in August. It's hot. But it also can be hot in May and June, in all fairness. So the heat is an issue. If we could start after fair, and if testing wasn't an issue, everyone is going to review to have time to if we could make that happen. Unfortunately, the timing of the tests and just the way that we have requirements for a school year is just not the best year we ever had. October, so you would have some makeup tests, and I think third grade is around October, the first round, and then we see them again come December, we have February, March, April for a lot of the end of year exams in the elementary, like 5 through 8 exams up March and April, and then May. Sometimes you'll hit your makeups in May, but it's pretty much done. too, which I just remembered, is timing. So that gives us the month of June to do our summer schools, to get the kids caught up, and to also get them ready for either graduation if they had something they missed, so that we can get them through, use that time, or if it's for a retention reason, if they don't have classes that are completed, that gives us the month of June to get those kids caught up so that they might not have to be retained. There's a lot that we do in the month of June. So I think most people would love to start after the fair. We just can't make it happen. And by doing it the way we're doing it now, we get almost tonight, and I'll probably be wrong because I don't have the number, but usually we get 2 to 3 weeks now before fair of instructional time. And yeah, we lose that week and then we come back and we have some reteaching and getting back into the routine to do, but we did have a block of instruction. When we were only going to school for 1 or 2 weeks, sometimes we were only going to school like 7 days, 8 days, and then we'd go to fair. It felt like you could never get started, because by the time you just got that routine going, then we were off. And you had to start, you might as well just start all over again. So those are some of the counter things that you would hear teachers talk about. Our design team talked about when we designed the calendars. Tell me, I don't know how you did it. I might be putting you on the spot. Those are some other things you can talk about. It's just the retirement and the testing piece just doesn't fit family life. So I totally understand it's early. It's early for us. It's early for teachers to start in August. I understand that. No, we're not doing anything with the fair. The calendar. Yes.
Any other questions or thoughts about that? Can I also ask again, the category 2, what is the cost? Because those are pretty much student.
Think of it as practices and not an event too. So we have to be careful about that, because when we have different people that come in and they do all the practices and we support that, but when they start generating money and doing other things, then it kind of falls into category 3. They may not be for profit, but they are making money, and we're giving them our facilities. So that's kind of why we wanted to clean things up too, because our 2 and 3 category was kind of fuzzy, and this just allowed us to review those things.
Anything else from anyone?
That's me, sorry. Mr. Rush?
Yes.
I can't do this. I told you I can't do this. Ms. Stryker? Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
All right, if there's nothing else to come forward of the meeting, adjourn. Next meeting will be April 15th, 7 p.m. back at our usual location.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.